Sanaa, African gift shop, is the outgrowth of an Afro-American artist's love for African art. Much of the artwork here was purchased and imported from Africa. Artist Bill Cooper is a rare combination of community commitment, talent, versatility, educator, and family man. His works have been widely exhibited and are included in many private and public collections.
I feel that art is very important in the growth of young people, and it's a very intricate part of the educational process. I think some misconceptions of art I would like to point out first is that anybody who study art or children in school who has art as part of their curriculum should be expected to be learning, preparing themselves for to be an artist or to be a professional, which is not true. Art has its place in that art itself is a discipline which teaches children the creative discipline while they're young. The art activities in the public school system are designed, or should be designed, to give the young people the opportunity to learn to think creatively and inventively. That's the whole idea of teaching art in school, not to create specifically or artists as a vocation, because to be creative lends itself to all phases of our lives, not only art. It does not only lend itself to painting a picture or putting together a piece of music. Creativity is important in anything we do. I think I pointed out to you one time, one of the examples that I like to use is that if a person wants to be rich, working alone would not suffice. He would have to have the ability to invent and to think creatively. And this process is not something that he automatically has once he becomes an adult. It is something that has to be nurtured, or that has been nurtured through the years. And as I said, it is a discipline that I think starts with the child's education as low as elementary school. There is no particular school of art that I practice. If I had to label my art, I would be hard put to label it as such. I would say that my art is not part of what can be considered the mainstream of American art. And to be very honest with you, I'm not striving to be part of the mainstream of American art, because I feel that the art that I practice is just as valid as the mainstream of American art. And when you consider that, what is considered modern art today is based on the same philosophies, or based on the same philosophies that produced African art. So I feel that my art is just as valid as the mainstream, the so-called mainstream art. And I am not striving to be a part of that mainstream system, because I feel that my art is just as valid. And I believe that my art is based on philosophies that are just as valid as those supposedly support the mainstream artists, so to speak. And I am still developing. I'm learning and I'm developing as I go along. And all of the things that I've done, what I do now, I feel is the sum total of all of those experiences that I've gone through. I think I have arrived at a point where I feel good about my art, in that I'm doing something that I'm comfortable with. And if I had to base it on any philosophy at all, it would be one rooted in Afrocentricity, meaning that my art is based on principles which are rooted in a different, what would be somewhat of a different perspective than mainstream art, in that my center would be an Afrocentric one rather than a Western or Eastern or some other philosophy or school of art.
Having a sizable investment in Bora Sanaa, we asked Cooper how the gift shop idea came about.
Oh, that's interesting. Bora Sanaa came about, well, number one, it's obvious that with my art background, I would be attracted to the arts of all kinds. And after my first trip to the continent of Africa, I was so impressed with the African art that I started thinking of the possibilities of this particular art, this same art, being enjoyed by more Americans. And in order to do that would mean there had to be some way of getting that art from the African continent to here. Coupled with the fact that I love Africa, and I like to go to Africa, it seemed to be a very good idea to try to figure some way to bring that art here. And this is how I got into the business of importing African art here. It affords me, number one, the opportunity to research or to learn more about African art and to travel back and forth to Africa. So it's quite an experience. I would just like to add that I think one of the things that motivated me most is that I believe that whatever a person does in life, especially his livelihood, cannot be divorced from, his life cannot be divorced from that livelihood. And I feel that wherever possible, one should try to engage in the kind of work that is more compatible to his temperament. And in this case, I'm trying to combine the best, I guess, of both worlds, my love for art and my love for Africa at the same time. So even though it is a business, it is less like a business in the sense that it does not carry the drudgery of certain works.
Artist Cooper is presently working on an exhibit project dedicated to the beauty and dignity of woman. After premier exhibits at local museums and cultural centers, plans are afoot for a nationwide tour. Other artworks by Cooper on public display include murals at the Martin Luther King Library and the Buffalo Urban League. Cooper's works fit the Swahili meaning of the name for his African gift shop. Bora Sanaa means a high level of art.